Hi, church family. I shared the following this past Sunday, but in case you missed it, or I understand there may have been tech problems, so people engaging with our live stream this past Sunday may have missed the tail end of this message. I'm sure you've heard about the provincial restrictions lifting as of March 1st. We're excited about that as we look ahead. We've followed the provincial guidelines this whole time and will continue to do so as they're lifted, obviously. I'm so looking forward to seeing people's smiles again. And just so you're aware, as a gesture of care for those who may still prefer an area where the rows on Sunday morning are separated a little, for the next little while in this adjustment period, we'll provide 3 back rows kitchen side for that purpose. And also, if you feel more comfortable wearing a mask, you can feel completely free to do so, of course. But church family, let's group up. It's time to come together. I want to say something out of genuine love and care for you, Eaglemont family, and please trust my heart in these comments. If for you, fear is an issue in moving back to normalcy, and only you and God know if that's the case. But if it is, for you, God asks you to surrender your fear to Him and allow trust in Him to guide your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions. And that's always been what God requires of us. We've always had fears that we wrestle with. I have my own, and God has always asked me, and He asks us to give those fears to Him, whatever they may be. And sometimes that's hard to do, which is why His Word says, "Fear not," so many times. It's no different now. Of course, I compassionately recognize that there are probably some unique health situations that may determine the timing of this for some of you. But if fear is an issue, all I'm saying is that we need to lay that down and take the step toward that which is the best for us spiritually. And one of those biblical steps is reconnecting with the body of Christ, if you haven't been. And of being together to worship God with one voice, or to pray with one another and receive prayer, to be able to face encourage one another, as Hebrews 10:24 and 25 says. The body misses out when you're not here. And I'll add this, and you've heard me say this before, likely. Online church, as we've come to call it, is not a good long-term strategy for spiritual growth or for New Testament body life. Oh, it's been helpful for sure during these crazy past 2 years, and on into the future it will as well. That technology is great when we're sick or we're traveling, but you need to know that our pre-COVID discussions and motivation about the idea of live streaming Sunday mornings, discussions we had before COVID, was always primarily about giving spiritual seekers the opportunity to explore what church is all about online in the safety of their home when they maybe didn't feel ready to walk into a church building on a Sunday morning. But for those who are Christ followers, it's really a poor substitute for the way God designed His family to function, and for the way He wants us to experience a deepening relationship with Him in the context of vibrant community with other Christ followers. I've heard so many of you say, "I'm grateful for the online option these days, but it's just not the same as being together." And you're right, it's not. I love you, church family. I've deeply missed seeing many of you. Let's move forward in strength together in the coming weeks, months, and years, because I believe that God has great things in store for us as a church in bringing strength and encouragement to one another, and in bringing God's message of grace and hope to a very hurting and broken world. And we get to do that collectively as a body. God has a mission for us to carry out together as His followers. I referenced Hebrews 10:24 and 25 a moment ago. It exhorts us to consider how we may spur one another on to love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching, that verse says. And as we observe our world, the day of Christ's return certainly could be at any time. God bless you, church family, and thanks for hearing this pastoral encouragement.